Alright guys, for this video I'm just going to give you a very brief intro on how to graph linear inequalities. Now we kind of did inequalities before, and remember at the end when you get inequalities you have to shade a solution set. Remember this is where you did like an open and closed circle. It's going to be a little bit different with this because we're going to graph a line and then we're either going to shade above or below the line. Okay, we'll get into this in more detail in a class tomorrow. Let's just look at the first one. You can see there's an intro up top. I'm gonna go over the intro in class tomorrow and tie it into number one. Let's just look at number one. That's read as y is less than or equal to 2/3 x plus 1. Now, kind of treat this inequality symbol, the less than or equal to, kind of treat it like it's an equal sign. Now, if it's y equals 2/3 x plus 1, it's already in slope-intercept form. So really, most of these problems, if you can graph lines, they should be very simple. The only thing we're going to add at the end is we're going to shade either above or below that line, depending on the inequality symbol that you have. So if I look at this one, the slope is 2/3, and the b value is the 1. Okay, this is never going to go away. You always have to know how to graph in slope-intercept form. So if my b value is 1, this is the y-intercept. So this is where I put the y-intercept. Then if my slope is 2/3, remember I go up 2 to the right 3. So from this point I go up 1, 2 to the right 3. So right there I'm going to put a dot right here. Okay, that's all we need, and then I'm just going to connect it. I have my line, very simple, we know how to graph lines, and I extend it the whole way. Now this is the last part. This is the only thing that's added on. Since the inequality symbol is this less than or equal to, if it's less than or equal to, it means I'm going to shade below the line. So let's shade. I'm going to shade this in blue. So what that means is every ordered pair that's in this shaded region, or this region that I'm shading right now, that means that is a solution to this linear inequality. You can see I'm obviously having fun right now. Okay? You know what, let's just do one more. Let's do number 2. Okay, let's move over to number 2. Alright, so if we look at number 2, same thing again. It's in slope-intercept form, and let's look at the inequality symbol. This inequality symbol is greater than. So what this means is after I graph my line, I'm going to shade above the line that I get. So let's identify the slope and the y-intercept. Since it's negative x, it's like saying negative 1x, so that means our slope is negative 1/1. Our b value is this, b equals 3. So I'm going to start, since this b is 3, this is my first point, 3 on the y-axis. So I'll put a check mark, I covered the b. Then my slope is negative 1/1. So what this means, I'm going to go down 1 and then to the right 1. So from here I'm going to go down 1 to the right 1. I'm going to get a point there, down 1 to the right 1, there I'm going to get a point. So I'm just going to get 2 other points. So if I go down 1 to the right 1, I have a point, down 1 to the right 1. Now this also is going to be a little bit different. Since this inequality symbol is not underlined, it's saying it can't be equal or it can't be on the line. It's kind of like in this case, remember we did open circles. Now it kind of replaces that. Instead of drawing a solid line, I'm going to connect this line with a dotted line. It means the solution's not on the line. And since this inequality symbol is greater than, then that means I shade above this line, which is everything here. So every point that's in this blue shaded region is a solution to this linear inequality. Okay, so you can see from this video, most of it, 90% of what you're doing is graphing lines. You all know how to do that. We've done it many times. It was on the midterm. The only thing we add in is sometimes it's a dotted line, and then you have to shade either above or below the line.